High on a hill, a small village slept. Children dreamed. The wind whispered secrets. One boy named Kenji listened.
Kenji, it seemed to say, adventure waits.
Kenji woke. He felt the wind call him. It led him to his window. There in the distance stood a mountain. It shimmered. It glowed with a light that felt like home. Kenji knew he had to climb that mountain. The mountain path was long. Kenji walked for days. Strange and beautiful flowers lined the way. Little animals with big eyes peeked out from behind rocks. The air sparkled. Waterfalls fell from the sky. Trees sang. This mountain was magic.
Kenji smiled. He wasn't afraid. He felt excited. He knew this was where he was meant to be.
Kenji reached a clearing. There he found a village, but it was empty. Houses stood silent. Toys lay forgotten. Where was everyone? Kenji felt sad. He knew what it was like to be alone. He decided to find the villagers and help them come home. He saw a small wooden sign. It pointed further up the mountain. Kenji took a deep breath and continued his climb. High above the clouds, Kenji found a magnificent tree. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before. The tree stood tall and proud, its branches reaching out as if trying to touch the heavens. The air around it was filled with a sense of wonder and magic, making Kenji feel like he had stepped into a different world altogether. It shimmered with golden leaves. Each leaf seemed to glow with an inner light, casting a warm golden hue over everything around it. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze, creating a soft, melodic sound that was both soothing and enchanting. Kenji couldn't help but be mesmerized by the beauty and tranquility of the scene before him. At the base of the tree sat an old woman. She smiled at Kenji, her eyes twinkled with wisdom and kindness, and her presence exuded a sense of calm and serenity. She seemed to belong to the tree, as if she were a part of its very essence. Kenji felt an immediate connection to her, as if he had known her all his life.
"Welcome, Kenji," she said. Her voice was soft and melodic, carrying a warmth that made Kenji feel at ease. It was as if she had been expecting him, and her words carried a sense of familiarity and comfort. "I have been waiting for you." Her smile deepened, and there was a knowing look in her eyes. It was clear that she held many secrets and had much to share with Kenji. He felt a sense of anticipation and curiosity, eager to learn more about this mysterious woman and the magical tree.
"Who are you?" Kenji asked, his voice filled with wonder and curiosity. He had so many questions, and he hoped that the old woman would have the answers he sought.
"I am the keeper of the mountain," she replied. Her voice was filled with a sense of pride and responsibility. She looked at Kenji with a gentle yet firm gaze, as if she were assessing his worthiness to hear the secrets she guarded. "This mountain holds a great magic." The old woman's voice took on a reverent tone as she spoke of the mountain. She gestured towards the towering peak, its slopes covered in lush greenery and bathed in a mystical light. Kenji could feel the power and majesty of the mountain, and he knew that it was a place of great significance. But the villagers have forgotten how to listen to its whispers. The old woman's voice was tinged with sadness as she spoke of the villagers. She explained that they had become so consumed with their daily lives and mundane concerns that they had lost touch with the magic of the mountain. Kenji felt a pang of sorrow, realizing the importance of reconnecting with the natural world and its hidden wonders. "The mountain needs your help, Kenji. Deep inside there is a crystal. It holds the mountain's light, but it has grown dim. The villagers have lost their courage. You must find the crystal of courage. Only then can the village be happy again."
Kenji felt a little scared, but he knew he had to try. He bowed to the keeper and entered the cave behind the waterfall. Section 6, The Trial of Trust. This is the story of Kenji, a young boy who embarked on a journey to prove his courage and trust in himself. The path he chose was not an easy one, filled with challenges and trials that tested his very essence. But Kenji was determined, for he knew that only by facing his fears could he truly grow and find the strength within. The cave was dark and winding. Shadows danced on the walls, creating eerie shapes that seemed to move and whisper secrets. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth, and the faint sound of dripping water echoed through the cavern. It was a place that could easily instill fear in the hearts of the unprepared. Kenji felt his way carefully. Each step was taken with caution, his hands brushing against the rough, cold walls of the cave. He could barely see a few feet ahead, relying on his other senses to guide him. The darkness was almost suffocating, but Kenji's resolve was stronger. He knew that this was a test of his trust in himself and his abilities.
Suddenly, the ground disappeared. Kenji's heart raced as he felt the solid earth vanish beneath his feet. For a moment, he was suspended in mid-air, the world around him a blur of darkness and uncertainty.
Kenji fell through the air. The sensation was both terrifying and exhilarating. As he plummeted, he could see a small circle of light far above, growing smaller and smaller. The wind rushed past him, and for a moment he felt completely weightless. He closed his eyes and thought of the mountain's warmth. The memory of the sunlit peaks and the gentle breeze filled him with a sense of calm. He remembered the stories of the mountain's strength and the lessons it had taught him. This was his anchor, his source of inner peace amidst the chaos. He thought of the villagers and his own courage. The faces of his friends and family appeared in his mind, their smiles and words of encouragement giving him strength. He remembered the promises he had made to them and to himself. This was not just a trial of trust, but a testament to his determination and bravery. He landed softly on a bed of moss. The impact was gentle, almost as if the earth itself had decided to cushion his fall. The soft green moss felt cool and comforting against his skin, a stark contrast to the harshness of the cave. Looking up, Kenji saw the crystal of courage. It glowed faintly. The crystal was a beacon of hope in the darkness, its soft light illuminating the cave. It was said that the crystal of courage could only be reached by those who truly believed in themselves. He knew he had to believe in himself to reach it. With a deep breath, Kenji gathered his strength and determination. He reached out, his hand trembling slightly, but his heart filled with unwavering resolve. This was his moment, the culmination of his journey and the ultimate test of his trust in himself. Section 7. The Heart of the Mountain. Kenji climbed towards the crystal. The path was steep and treacherous, with jagged rocks jutting out at every turn. Each step was a test of his resolve, but Kenji's determination never wavered. He had a mission, a purpose that burned brighter than the sun. The crystal, a beacon of hope, shimmered in the distance, urging him onward. He used all his strength. Every muscle in his body screamed in protest, but Kenji pushed through the pain. He remembered the stories of the ancient heroes who had faced similar trials. Their courage and perseverance inspired him to keep going, to reach for the impossible. The mountain seemed to grow taller with each passing moment, but Kenji's spirit was unbreakable. He thought of the villagers. Their faces, etched with worry and hope, flashed before his eyes. They depended on him, believed in him. The weight of their expectations was heavy, but it also fueled his determination. He couldn't let them down. The village had suffered for too long, and Kenji was their last hope. He climbed not just for himself, but for everyone who believed in him. He thought of the keeper's kind smile. The old man had always been a source of wisdom and comfort. His words echoed in Kenji's mind, reminding him of the strength that lay within. Courage is not the absence of fear, the keeper had said, but the triumph over it. Kenji held on to those words like a lifeline, drawing strength from the keeper's unwavering faith in him. And finally, he reached the crystal of courage. It was more magnificent than he had ever imagined, glowing with an ethereal light that seemed to pulse with life. Kenji's heart swelled with a mixture of awe and relief. He had done it. The journey had been long and arduous, but he had persevered. The crystal was within his grasp, a symbol of his triumph over adversity.
As he touched it, the cave filled with light. The darkness that had once seemed so impenetrable was banished in an instant. The light was warm and comforting, wrapping around Kenji like a protective embrace. It was as if the mountain itself was celebrating his victory, acknowledging his bravery and determination. The cave, once a place of shadows and fear, was now a sanctuary of light and hope.
Kenji felt warmth spread through him. He understood. The journey had not just been about reaching the crystal, but about discovering the strength within himself. The warmth was a reminder of the love and support of his village, the keeper's wisdom and his own unyielding spirit. It was a moment of clarity, a realization that he was capable of more than he had ever believed. Courage wasn't about not being scared. It was about facing those fears head-on, about pushing through the doubt and uncertainty. Kenji had learned that true courage came from within, from believing in oneself even when the odds seemed insurmountable. It was a lesson he would carry with him for the rest of his life. A beacon of light in the darkest of times. It was about believing in yourself, even when you were. Kenji's journey had transformed him, turning a young boy into a hero. He stood tall, his heart filled with a newfound confidence. The mountain had tested him, but he had emerged stronger, braver, and more determined than ever. The heart of the mountain was not just a place, but a state of being, a testament to the power of courage and belief. Section 8. The Gift of the Mountain. Kenji returned to the keeper. He held the crystal of courage high. It shone brightly, filling the mountain with its light. The keeper smiled.
You have saved the mountain, Kenji, and you have found your own courage too.
Suddenly they heard the sounds of laughter. The villagers were returning. The magic of the mountain had brought them back. Section 9. The Journey Home. Kenji returned to the village a hero. He had saved the mountain and brought the villagers home, but most importantly, he had found his own courage.
Kenji knew he would never forget the magic mountain. He knew he would always carry its warmth and light within him, and he knew that even though he was going home, his adventure had just begun.